So would it be automatic if I'm above point 0.1 I lose the car?
Well, it's not automatic. Our members, of course, have that discretion in the circumstances. They'll make that assessment, but I'd be very disappointed if our police members didn't utilise this legislation that's been provided to us to send that clear message that if you get caught drink driving, point 0.1 and above, you lose your car.
What about other laws? I'm a little confused. I was reading through them this morning. I'm a little confused on just what happens if I'm over point 0.1 in terms of losing my licence immediately. Can it be taken on the spot?
Yes, it can. Our police members can serve you with what we call a Section 51 notice, where we will suspend your licence there and then. It'll be suspended for 1 month or 28 days. During that time, you will and have the availability to appeal that decision. That is, not pay the fine, elect to go to court. If you accept that fine, accept the fact that you're guilty of that offence, then that 1 month will be part of the 10-month period of disqualification that's associated with that type of reading, 0.1 and above.
But if I say on the spot, when I'm served with this notice, I'm going to appeal this, am I permitted to continue to drive?
No. At that point of time, you will be provided with the necessary paperwork. I would hope that the members would impound your vehicle, then you can take the matter before the courts.
Oh, under these new laws, they'd impound the vehicle.
That's right.
What level do is licence seized immediately?
Say it again.
At what level?
0.1 and above.
So 0.1 above, you
Yep.
lose it on the spot?
Yes.
Okay. Is that effective?
Very effective. It removes that irresponsible driver from the road system straight away, and it sends a clear message to the broader community that you should separate the behaviours of drinking and driving completely.
I noticed a letter from the Australian Drug Law Reform Foundation, Alex Wodak, who's a well quoted spokesman on issues of alcohol and drug problems. He says he makes the point the laws for alcohol affected drivers are fair and just, but we need laws that punish drug impaired drivers so that they can, I guess, identify the amount of drugs they have in their system and what you do with them.
Yes, well, certainly Victoria Police and the government and our road safety partners are committed to removing the drug-affected drivers from our roads, and that's why Victoria Police is now funded to expand our roadside drug testing program. Also, the government has invested in an additional fleet of booze and drug buses. The difficulty with a drug-affected driver is that we haven't got the absolute, evidentiary case roadside that they are affected by illicit drugs. We've got a preliminary oral fluid test that we can conduct, then we conduct another secondary test, but that's not absolute. We've got to then take that sample and that's got to be analysed at the Victorian Institute of Forensic Medicine. Then within a 10-day period, we'll know that person categorically had illicit drugs and what that drug was in their system.
But we won't know how much of it.
No, we won't.
So is it not possible to make a judgment on impairment just on the fact it's in their system?
No, well, the difficulty is the limitations of the technology, similar to where we were 30 years ago with our drink driving technology and drink driving program. This technology will advance in the years to come. We will have more absolute evidence, I suppose. There is limited research as well in terms of the level of impairment, in terms of the amount of drug that you have in your system. It's just still an unknown space for us.
But would you like to get to that situation whereby you have a quick test and we, in fact, loss of car? I mean, the same as we have hit now over 0.1. If you're picked up and you've got X percent of whatever drug in your system, or maybe even any of whatever drug in your system, you lose it.
I'd like to see the day that certainly we would have the technology available to us that we would be able to test a driver roadside, would be able to identify what type of drug they have in their system, what the impact that drug would have on their driving ability, and then have the legislative framework that would allow us then to support that technology and that assessment to remove the vehicle and remove the driver from the road.
What about younger drivers? And I know you've been, in broad terms, support the idea of 0-0 for everybody, but I think that's unlikely. What about 0-0, extending the 0-0 period for younger drivers?
Well, let me make the point in terms of the 0-0 for everyone not being likely. It will occur. It will occur. 30 years ago, we would have never thought anything beyond 0.05, but now we've got AA provisions for the graduated licence system. We've got the AA provisions for commercial drivers, professionals within the trade, the heavy vehicle industry. So we've already seen the shift in thinking across the community around the AA provisions.